Howdy, geriatrics. Well, what brought it to mind? Something brings everything to mind, doesn't it? But, I was reading an article online. No, I wasn't. I was looking at a YouTube post from someone else, and they happened to mention Ellesmere Port, which is a little bit outside Manchester. And it's on the Manchester Ship Canal, and that made me remember a time when I was in the Merchant Navy. I was actually docked in Ellesmere Port. We took the Manchester Ship Canal for some reason or other, ended up in Ellesmere Port. Well, it was at least an overnight stay for one night anyway, and so sailors being what they are and me being what I used to be, going out that night was a global priority for us. So we assembled a small group and off we went. And whether it was in Ellesmere Port or whether we'd caught a bus or something into Manchester has disappeared from my memory, I'm afraid. But we ended up in a nightclub. I wish I'd have kept a diary. It was probably midweek, and when we walked into the nightclub, it soon became apparent that we were the only people inside it. There was between 6 and 10 of us from memory, and we were walking around from one bar to another, just keep trying to do our best to keep them all open, because we didn't want anyone being made redundant, did we? And one thing I do remember is that providing the music that night was a band called the Nocturnes. Here they are. They were a Manchester-based group, and they were formed sometime in the mid-60s. I think their most noteworthy achievement was the two ladies, Eve Graham and Lynn Paul, went on later to join the more successful group, the New Seekers. I must admit, I did feel sorry for them. I mean, we were the only customers in the nightclub, and they were on stage there manfully and womanfully singing their hearts out, and we were all drunk and just acting like appalling people. We were appalling people in those days. We were young and, very, very bad-mannered. The New Seekers. So when did all this take place then? Well, my memory says it must have been the end of 1969, beginning of 1970. But you can pinpoint it a bit more than that, because it must have been after February 1974 when Lynn joined the Nocturnes, and before a certain date in 1969 when the New Seekers were formed and Eve Graham left to join them. And here is the mighty the Iridian. I believe there were 3 or 4 sisters, the Iridian, the Regis, the Aurelia. Can't think of any others right now, but they were iron ore ships, and we were on a regular run from Narvik to Port Talbot in South Wales. These ships were fearsome boats because they used to roll. It was said that they would roll in wet grass, They were horrible ships to sail on, and because it was Holder Brothers, they were called hungry holders, so everyone lost weight. I can remember going to the Burney Inn in Port Talbot, which was my regular fortnightly treat. After starving for a fortnight on the ship, we used to go in there and have a slap-up steak dinner and a bottle of wine. I remember once I just went straight to the loo and spewed the whole lot up. Those were the days, eh? Well, I hope you enjoyed that little trip down my memory lane. Those days certainly won't come around again, but I do look back on them very fondly nowadays with the benefit of hindsight. Anyway, hopefully something else will trigger off another memory, and for the want of anything more interesting here, I will make a small video about it. Who knows? Anyway, bye bye.